What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about the first year anniversary gift that we'll be getting really soon. You'll be able to choose one free costume of any costume that was released up until April 2024. It does not include crossover or limit break costumes though. So let's look at all the costumes available, and I was going to do a tier list to help you decide which ones you might want to choose. This tier list maker, I did not create it, so they did, at least the one I found, does have some costumes that are not included, so I already placed them here under NA, not applicable. So none of these costumes will be available, but all of these costumes will be, and I'm going to place them into tiers of S tier, which means you should probably choose one of these. Good tier, which means you can feel good by taking one of these costumes. Okay tier, which is really account dependent, or yeah, it's going to be really account dependent if you choose an okay costume. And then there's going to be the don't tier, or D tier, which is you should never choose this one. So the first costume we have is Tifa's Water Arcanum bunny outfit. This one is a Water Arcanum, but also gives magic ability potency. Really strong offensive costume, right? It has 2 R abilities that increase damage, and it is supporting an S tier weapon, Tifa's bunny gloves and Tifa's feather gloves. So S tier costume. This is actually the costume I think I'm going to choose. Not because I think it's the best costume of all the costumes that you can choose, but because I like Tifa and my water damage is quite weak. So yeah, there's like 2 reasons to use it, right? So not only do I like the character, but I do need water damage. Next we have Red's debuff costume, and I also think it's S tier. Hard to place. I'm just gonna put it above Tifa just because it's generally it's going to be useful all the time. This gives HP and buff, no, not buff, just debuff extension. So it's going to make Red's debuffs last longer, which Red is mainly known for. So Red basically is a debuffer in this game. So this is a perfect costume for him, and it's a perfect costume for all of his builds. You could even say his DPS builds he might be debuffing at the same time, so this is just perfect for him. You can use Red as a healer as well, but even when he heals, he also debuffs. So this is just perfect S tier costume for Red 13. I think if I wasn't lacking, like this might actually be my second choice costume here. But yeah, I really like Tifa and I need water damage. So yeah. Okay, but really great red costume. Next we have Aerith's fire costume. I'm gonna put it in good tier. This is a fire arcanum, just as good as Tifa's, but the reason why I put it in like it's good and not like S tier is because Aerith's weapon is not as strong as Tifa's weapon. So Aerith's, it's the egg staff. It's a good weapon, but the potency is not that high. Aerith's egg staff, and also we're going back to Tifa. Like Tifa is the only water magic DPS in the entire game, but Aerith is not the only fire magic DPS. There you can also use Zack, and you can also use Tifa. So you know, Aerith's fire arcanum is good, but it just has other options, and Aerith is actually the weakest fire magic user that we have. So she's good, but she's, yeah, not an S tier. Next we have Barret's Electro Cannon costume, and this one, I have to, yeah. This is the number 1 costume in the game. But the reason I'm not choosing it is I already have this costume, so I only need to decide between other costumes. But if you don't have Barret's Electro Cannon costume, this is the number 1. I'm looking quick. I'm pretty sure this is the number 1 costume to get. If you've watched my other videos, you'll see how often I use Barret, and I always use Barret with this costume. This costume is always good on Barret. It gives HP, which is always good, and also gives magic attack. It gives physical attack. It gives magic defense. It gives physical defense. It basically gives Barret every single stat except what, maybe like healing and buff debuffing, right? But you can add those as sub weapons. So this costume will help Barret in every single role. If you want Barret to be a buff debuffer, this costume is great. If you want Barret to be a healer, this costume is also great. If you want Barret to be a DPS, which he's not really one right now, but he can be in the future, then this costume will also be great for a DPS Barret. So this costume just blows everything out of the water. It's perfect for every single situation, including future situations. I love this costume. Next we have Aerith's ice costume. Oh, sorry. And where did I? Oh, I moved here. I actually. So, I think most people would disagree with me, but let me. No, it's. I almost want to put it in S tier, but I think it's the best of. It's really, really good. Aerith's ice costume is plus HP and plus ice mastery, so it's not as good as an Arcanum costume, but the reason why I think it's so good is Aerith has a really great combo with her. She has two weapons that go really well with this, just like TIfa. So TIfa has two water weapons to go with her water Arcanum, and Aerith has two ice weapons, the Snowflake and the Citric Wand. So it makes the build really strong. You know, if we compare to like Aerith's fire costume, she only has one weapon that goes well with it. So that's why, yeah, I do put it as good. Yeah, I did almost want to put it as S tier, but not quite. Tifa's ice costume is, it depends on what you have for Tifa or what you have for ice, but I do think it is an S tier. It's probably on the bottom S tier. This is Tifa's Ice Arcanum. It gives physical attack and Ice Arcanum. The reason why it's not as good as like Tifa's Water one is because there are one more. Let me think. No, there's two. I would say there's two better Ice Arcanums that you can be using. You have Cloud's Ice Arcanum, which it was limited, so you that's not an option here. But if you do have that, Cloud is the stronger ice physical user, and you also have Zack's Ice Arcanum, which is comparable and I would say actually better, but it depends on what you mean by better. But overall, I would say Zack is better as well. So, and not only that, but Tifa has two other limited costumes. Actually, we can look at Tifa's. So Tifa has her Amaranth's Guy's costume, which gives physical ability potency. She also has Guide Uniform, which gives physical ability mastery. So if you have one of these costumes, you can just use those, and it will be not as strong, but still strong. So you don't really need Tifa's Ice Arcanum, but you know, it's still really good to make. And yeah, it's still really good. It's going to do a lot of damage. Next we have Tifa's feather outfit. I think it's between good and okay. I'm gonna say okay because at least right now it's a really good costume for any situation, but it doesn't do anything great in any situation. So Tifa's feather outfit is boost HP and boost buff debuff mastery, but Tifa doesn't really have any buffs. I mean, she has a few, but nothing notable, and her debuffs last long enough that you don't need to actually extend them. So really it's just okay. But in my opinion, this is the best looking Tifa costume. Obviously that's subjective, but yeah, that would be one reason why you choose this. But I'm not, for this tier list, I'm not taking looks or appearance into consideration here, so I'm gonna put this into the okay tier. Next we have Aerith's Wind Arcanum. I'm gonna put it between the Tifa Arcanums because Aerith's Wind Arcanum is old, so her weapon, the weapon that goes with the Arcanum, is not that strong, but it is the only wind magic arcanum in the game. So there are lots of wind costumes in the game, but they're all physical. So Aerith is the only magical one in the game, so that's why I do put her here. Just like Tifa is the only magic water one in the game. So they're both S tier. But Tifa has a better weapon than Aerith, and Tifa has a second weapon in her offhand. She has feather gloves to go with this costume, so Tifa's is going to be better. But this wind Aerith costume is still very strong because it is the only wind magic. And then next we have Aerith's summer costume. It has to be, yeah. It has to be Don't, which is sad because I really do like this costume. This is boost HP and boost magic attack, which are both really easy R abilities to get. So you know, this is an old costume. It was really good before. I was actually consider pulling on this one, but now there are just so many better costumes, like, you know, boost HP, boost magic attack. You can just get those with your weapons, so that's why I would never get this costume. Next we have Cloud's healing costume. I think I'm gonna put it's okay, and it's more okay than Tifa's feather costume. I forgot, it gives heal and HP, I think. Yeah, Bandaged coat gives heal and HP. So this is to make Cloud a healer, which he is an okay healer. But you almost never want to use Cloud as your healer, so I mean that's why I'm putting it here in okay, because it allows Cloud to be a healer, but yeah, that's not really what Cloud wants to do. But it is unique in that sense, so it is okay. Next we have Cloud's water mastery costume. It gives HP and water mastery. I'm putting it in good because Cloud is the, let me think, he's the second or third best water physical DPS in the game, and this costume really helps him do that. But like I said, he's only the second or third best. Like, you know, he's not the best at anything here. And also for Cloud, there are other costumes that you can choose. Like, I mean, here is his Maritime, right? 10 HP and water mastery. But maybe you have Glavenous armor, then that's good enough. You just use Glavenous armor, which gives physical ability mastery. Maybe you have Zidane's outfit, which gives physical ability potency. Like, those are fine. You don't really need Maritime. But if you don't have either of these, then Maritime is a good choice if you need a strong physical water DPS and you don't have anything better than Cloud. So he is good. Next we have Murasame, which I'm gonna put here. So Murasame is Cloud's physical lightning arcanum. So there's only 2 physical lightning users in the game, and one is Cloud and the other one is limited. So if you don't have the other one, then you know Cloud is your only option. So Cloud is highly up there. The reason I put him behind Aerith is because Cloud does have, like I said, he does have competition. There is a Zack. Zack, with his limited Monster Hunter lightning weapon, does beat Cloud. So Cloud is not unique in that sense, but Aerith is. I mean, it's debatable. There's no content that requires wind magic DPS, but there is content that requires lightning physical, like Leviathan EX Leviathan does need lightning physical, so Cloud can really help you here. But just like I said before, you don't need Cloud's Murasame. You could get by with his Glavenous armor or his Zidane outfit, or even no outfit. Even no outfit is you can clear Leviathan EX without an outfit on Cloud. So yeah, but it's still really good, and yeah. Okay, next is Glenn's pumpkin outfit. It's the only Glenn outfit, unfortunately. It's just terrible. So just like Aerith, it gives stats that you can get easily with your weapons. I think it's HP and attack. Yeah, you get HP and physical attack, which, you know, it's just really easy to get those from weapons. So no no real value in from the costume. And also Matt, I think it's HP and attack as well. Killer attire, yeah, just like Glenn, and did the same thing. But Matt's is even worse because Matt is not a physical DPS. Glenn can be a physical DPS. Matt not really. So this costume it just doesn't do anything for Matt. And also Red. Red is the same one. It's the same as the other two. Red is boost HP and boost physical attack. I mean, Red can be a physical DPS, but like I said, you just get those R abilities from your weapons. Next you have Sephiroth's Fire Mastery costume. It's okay. It is a Fire Mastery. I think the other one is HP. Let me... Yeah, HP and Fire Mastery. The problem is Sephiroth doesn't have a fire weapon. I mean, he doesn't have a good fire weapon, so the Fire Mastery doesn't really do anything. I mean, it helps his fire DPS a little bit, but he's not a fire DPS, so it's just kind of weird to have it. But it is okay. Next we have Sephiroth's Wind Mastery, and I really like this one. It's probably... Oh, it's hard. I'm gonna put it above Aerith even, actually. Oh, sorry. Sephiroth's Wind Mastery is, Sephiroth is a Wind physical DPS, and, I said there are a lot of Wind physical DPS users, but Sephiroth is the best one. Sephiroth is the best one, so this costume, Sephiroth, it's Wind Mastery and boost HP. With this costume, you're really maximizing your physical wind build. So even though he has competition and Aerith is the only wind magical DPS, Sephiroth is just too strong here. He's the strongest, so I do put him here. You could even argue above TIfa, but no, I mean you could argue, but yeah, that's where I'm gonna put him. Next we have Sephiroth's Ice Arcanum, which also is unique. It's a hard one. It's basically the same as Aerith. I'll just put him here to put him next to his own. Put the Sephiroth together. So in this game, there's only one Ice Arcanum. There is Aerith Ice Mastery here, but her weapon is not really a DPS weapon. Actually, she's like an ice support sub DPS. So Sephiroth's Ice Arcanum is very, very strong. Yeah, I mean he's the only ice DP magic ice DPS in the game, so he is very high up there. Next you have Tifa's healing outfit, which also goes with Cloud's healing outfit. I'm just gonna put it next to Tifa as well, but I think she might actually no, she might actually, yeah, okay. The reason she's basically the same as Cloud's healing outfit. Like, you can make Tifa a healer, but Tifa's not really a great healer. But having the option is nice, so it is okay. And it is a better option than the feather outfit if you want Tifa to be a healer. Next we have Zack's Halloween outfit. I actually forgot, but I think it's bad though. Yeah, HP and attack. So you'll notice in the don't tier, they're all the same. They all have HP and like attack. Stats that you can get from weapons are just not worth getting. Next we have Aerith's Floral outfit. I placed this around where Tifa is. I'll just put it here to keep Tifa together. So the Floral outfit gives HP and buff debuff extension, which is really good for a lot of Aerith builds, including her healing build. But there's just a lot of healing outfits for Aerith that you don't really need this. You could just, even her free voucher costume can be used over her Floral outfit. And if the best buff debuff weapon for Aerith is her Kimura wand, and if you have that, you probably have her Kimura outfit, which is better than the Floral outfit. So yeah, It's okay, but nothing too great. Next we have Zack. This one is really good. I don't know where to put it. It is an S tier one. It is, let's see, it's better than, I would say, somewhere here. But, you know, I like to keep characters together, so maybe I'll put him here. I like to keep Sephiroth together, so Zack's Ice Arcanum is really good. It's Ice Arcanum and buff debuff extension. The reason I like it is you can use it for two situations, right? If you want to use Zack as your like healer or support, you can still use his Ice Arcanum because it has the buff debuff extension. But if you want to use Zack as your Ice DPS, then of course you'll use his Ice Arcanum. So it has lots of multiple uses compared to other Arcanum costumes. And he is a very strong. Like, remember when I was talking about TIfa, Zack is like TIfa's competition here. So, but Zack is better than TIfa because Zack has buff debuff extension. Next we have Lucia's bunny costume. I'm gonna put her. It's a hard one. I forgot her stats, so let me check it again. Buff debuff extension and then fire and ice. This is fire and ice resistance and fire and ice damage. So she's meant to fight fire and ice, but she also has buff debuff extension. Yeah, she's not an S tier for sure. It's good. Buff debuff extension is good. Like most of her weapons and limit breaks do buffs and debuffs. As for the ice and fire, it helps a little bit. Yeah, I just put it as good. It doesn't do anything great, but it's good for most of her builds, and it'll be great for fire and ice fights. Lucia's Earth Arcanum is going to be up here. I'm going to put it here. Well, it's close with TIfa. Yeah, I'm going to put it here. Slightly better than TIfa, you know, but I maybe less than Murasame. Lucia's Earth Arcanum gives magic damage, magic attack, and Earth Arcanum. There are not many Earth Arcanums in the game. There are 1, 2, 3. There are 4, and Lucia is one of the 4. 2 of the Earth Arcanums. Oh no, 1 of the Earth Arcanum is limited, and the other 3 are not. But if you don't have any of them, then Lucia. The problem is Lucia is the worst one, actually. So wait, let me think again. So Lucia is the worst of all the Earth Arcanums. Let me think about it's between TIfa and Lucia. TIfa is also near the worst ice. They're pretty comparable, I would say. They're pretty comparable, but yeah, I think Lucia's worse because Sephiroth, her main competition for people with 0 costumes I would say is Sephiroth. Sephiroth has Sephiroth has an Earth Arcanum. If you don't have that, that's also fine because he also has a magic mastery outfit, which works well with his Earth weapon. And if you don't have that, which is also fine because he also has Kuja's Attire, which gives magic ability potency. So Sephiroth has 3 costumes that can work with his Earth weapon. Lucia just has this one. Actually, she does have another one. But Lucia is just weaker. So yeah, it is a good costume, but I would say I'm going to put it at the bottom of S tier. Next we have Zack's. I believe this was his Christmas outfit. Let me check. Holiday suit, it's HP and ability potency. It's really close to being, you really don't want this. It's hard though. Actually, it's close. It's between okay and don't. I'm gonna put it in don't, but it's really close to being okay. So HP, just like the other costumes in don't, you're getting abilities that you can easily get from weapons, right? HP and physical ability, potency. So it really is just yeah, but it is close to being okay because they're great stats to have for any physical Zack DPS build, which there are quite a bit of Zack DPS builds. So yeah, it's between okay and don't. I would say don't though. Cloud's Fire Arcanum is quite good. It's pretty much the same as TIfa and Lucia. I'll just put it next to Cloud. So basically the same thing I was saying about TIfa and Lucia. Cloud as a physical fire DPS weapon, he's not the best, but he is the second best. So it's fine. Yeah. Cait Sith's Crit Arcanum buff debuff mastery. I'm gonna put it. It's really good. It's in these top 3 of supports. I'm gonna put it. Actually, I think it's a top 2. Actually, as crazy as that might sound. It might. Oh, it's close between Cait Sith and Barret. I think I. Okay, I'm gonna put it as the best costume of the S tier, but it is hard to put it there because the only reason Cait Sith is the best costume of all the costumes is you need to be like you almost need to be a whale, and whales probably they already have this costume, so it is the best costume, but probably not for you or me. Cait Sith's costume gives I forgot what the crit does exactly, but it's like a crit arcanum, so it helps his crit damage, his yellow megaphone, do the maximum damage, and it also gives buff debuff extension. So if you use this costume, it's going to be good for Cait to be a DPS, but it's also going to be good if you use Cait Sith to be a buff debuffer. And then it's going to be great if you use him as a DPS who also buffs and debuffs, which there is a really strong build that you can use Yellow Megaphone and you can use his Krina Megaphone, and this costume is just perfect for that, and that build just does so much. It does so much damage and it gives so much utility to your team that I have to put this as the best costume. But again, it really is mainly for whales because you need good sub weapon. Not only do you need yellow like OB6 or higher yellow megaphone, you also need OB6 or higher Krina megaphone, which most people do not have. It's a limited weapon. And then not only that, you also need high OB crit sub weapons, which most people probably don't have because those weapons are pretty bad. They're only good for Cait Sith. But yeah, I do think this is the best costume, assuming you have the right build for it. Barret's. This is just a worse Electroarmor costume. His scrap armor is giving him attack, but his electrical armor, it already gives attack and more. So you would never get that. Zack's buff, debuff, and HP costume is between. I'd say I'm gonna put it as good. Yeah, somewhere here in good actually. Here. No, actually, wait. Better than Cloud, actually. Yeah. Actually, it's here. I'll just put him here. Okay, just to keep Aerith together. But it is Zack's ceremonial costume is very good. It gives HP and it gives buff debuff extension. The reason I put it as so highly is because this is Zack's best healing costume. So Zack can be a healer, and this is his best costume to make him a healer. But if you don't want Zack to be a healer, it's still great for the buff debuff extension. When he's a DPS, he has a lot of weapons that apply buffs or debuffs that this costume will help him DPS as well. I don't think it's an S tier because Zack's Ice Arcanum almost does the same thing. Like, because Zack's Ice Arcanum also gives buff debuff extension. The only difference is his Ice Arcanum increases ice damage, and his buff debuff costume increases HP. But a lot of times you don't need HP, and if you're using Zack as a healer, you're going to main hand his Twinkling Star, which gives a lot of HP anyways, so you're probably you probably have more than enough HP anyways that you can get by with Zack's Ice Arcanum. But it is very, very good here. Almost done. We have Yuffie left. Her Wind Arcanum, it's somewhere here. I guess. Is it better than Cloud? Hard to say, but around these four are like very similar. They, Yuffie, Cloud, TIfa, Lucia, they're good, but they have better options, so they're never the best. But yeah, but they are Arcanums, so still very, very good. Like I said, Sephiroth is the best wind physical user, but Yuffie is let me think, is she second best? No, she's not even second best, but she is up there. But one good thing about Yuffie is that she can do wind DPS, and she can use her Arctic Star to boost, like, say, Sephiroth's DPS. So you can run a double wind DPS team, then Yuffie can be a great choice in those fights. So she is up here. Last we have Yuffie's buff debuff costume. Oh, sorry, it's not S, it's between these two. Yuffie's buff debuff costume is I'm gonna put it here. So it's good. It gives HP and buff debuff extension, but it's actually kind of similar to the don't. I mean, because you can get those stats from your weapons, but Yuffie doesn't have that many costumes, and this is a good general costume for Yuffie. It'll work for all her builds because she does have Arctic Star, which boosts physical attack to her and one ally. So this costume is gonna let her cast that less often. She also has a limit break that boosts attack for your party, so that will increase that. And she also has a weapon that boosts magic attack. So this is a good overall costume. Yeah. Okay, those are all the costumes, right? So in the S tier we have these three general purpose costumes: Cait, Sith, Barret, and Red 13. I would recommend most players go for these. I'm not going for these because I already have Barret, and I'm not a whale to I can't afford to build Cait Sith to his potential, and so I would like this red costume, but like I said before, I just like TIfa and I need a water DPS. So after these three, we do have, these are all actually, yeah, after in the S tier, other than these three, these are all like Arcanums or Mastery costumes for elements. So you can't really go wrong with Arcanums or some Masteries. Yeah, most notably is Tifa's Water, Sephiroth's Wind Mastery, Zack's Ice, Aerith's Wind. Yeah, those are the most notable ones in the S tier. In the good tier, we have, things are good. I know, they're hard to say anything great about them, but they're good. If you think you need one of these or you really like these costumes, you can go for those. And then the rest, I really don't recommend unless you have nothing better. But yeah, that's the tier list. Let me know which one you're thinking of choosing, or if you agree with me or disagree with me. Also let me know. And other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.